Legend of the Galactic Heroes is a highly regarded anime, and while it wasn't a perfect adaptation of the novels, it's one of the better long-running shows I've seen. More than 20 years after the final episode came out, a promotional video for a 2018 retelling has been shown, and some people, me included, are somewhat apprehensive. Let's start with the positives. The original anime got away with relatively basic combat scenes because the show was very dialogue heavy, but this one seems to be upping the quality of the space battles with surprisingly good CG and nice looking explosions. Comparing the two's fights side by side, there's not that much difference between them as far as animation goes, but there's been a clear visual upgrade, which is always welcome. While the ships are looking good, the same can't really be said for the character designs. The people in charge of this aspect of the show previously worked on Kuroko Basketball, and as a result, Kircheis, Reinhard and Yang look like a bunch of pretty boys. The distinctive features of Reinhard and Yang are still there, but they're far less pronounced, which results in the two looking a bit generic. Gone is the Kaiser's stern gaze and Merkel Yang's kind, almost remorseful expression he sports for most of the show. Sure, they've only been on screen for a couple of seconds, but these are my initial impressions. Kircheis got the worst end of the stick by far here, as his transformation into Fujoshi bait has resulted in him looking near unrecognisable. Galactic Heroes has a lot of characters, and being able to distinguish them easily is a must-have for them to stick into the viewer's mind. The fact that these three characters are kinda merging together is a bit concerning. The soundtrack from what we heard is pretty good honestly, but I do hope that the classical pieces that were prevalent in the original will be heard here too. One of my favourite things about the world of this series is how despite the futuristic aspects to it, an old school sense of refinement is intrinsic to the show, accentuated by the sophisticated pieces of Bach and Chopin. Having these timeless works really sells this as a space opera for me, and it's a real shame if the original soundtrack is dropped for something completely new. This trailer was pretty action oriented, which is fair enough since a bunch of guys talking wouldn't make for a good trailer, but there may be more to this than just that. When this airs in 2018, it's going to be a one-core series, with 3 films coming out in 2019 to make up a season 2. Galactic Heroes can have entire episodes of just exposition essentially, which means that a 12-episode series, if following the vein of the original anime, might be a bit underwhelming. This series is all about build-up, leading up to a big event before reflecting on the ramifications of it afterwards. For this reason, I wouldn't be surprised if this new series will focus more on the big space battles and cut out some subplots to make it better fit a one-core series. While this line of thinking may produce a decent anime, it'll be a watered-down version of a series I adore, and for that reason, while newcomers may enjoy it, it won't be for me. If the anime tries to cram all the nuance and subtleties of the cast into the first season and is paced like the original, then season 1 won't have that great an ending, and viewers will have to wait until 2019 to be satisfied. The hard truth is that I don't see this remake being very good with one core, especially with only 20 episodes being announced overall. That said, as someone who has watched the original, I hope to get some enjoyment from seeing some of my favourite scenes redone with upgraded visuals.